All right, it is almost another week of 12 time. We have Tennessee Titans head coach Mike McCoy, who had some very, very interesting things to say about Shedeur Sanders. Obviously, he's coaching the #1 overall pick at the quarterback position in Cam Ward. We have to get into what he had to say about Shedeur Sanders. This is crazy. Let's get into it. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit that bell notification, and hype the video. Let's get right into what Tennessee Titans head coach had to say as they prepare for the Cleveland Browns and Shedeur Sanders.
You know, going on the road this week for the first time in a long time for a great challenge, and one of the great places to go play in Cleveland. You know, what a great place, the tradition, the history, and everything going there, and, you know, going against a good football team. But we got to go out there and play our best game to date. And that's what we always talk about when you get to December, of playing your best football, and it starts this weekend in Cleveland.
What's the challenge of preparing to defend Myles Garrett the way he's playing this year?
Unbelievable player. What he's done, you know, every snap, you've got to know where he is. You got to have presence for him. He's going to make a play or two. You see it all the time, and you just keep rolling. He's playing at an MVP level, so high, and you got to know where he is every single play, and it's nothing you can. The speed of the game, it's hard to prepare for that. Just to say to go out there and have someone like that every single play in practice go at that level, but he plays the game the way it's supposed to be played. So, like I said, he's playing at MVP level.
I think Corey Levin played for you at center, and I guess with Lloyd, probably just monitor him through the week and maybe face another decision there game day.
Yeah, I think Corey did an outstanding job in the game, and I think that comes, he's a veteran. He knows what it takes to go out and play. You know, the good thing was that he played with Cam.
Myles Garrett is going to have like 7 sacks versus these dudes. The Tennessee Titans are hot garbage. They're terrible.
So much during the offseason program, during training camp, so that helped us. We didn't skip a beat, and I think the inside guys did an outstanding job together in the game this past weekend, the 3 of those guys playing. But that's when you have a crafty vet that can go in there, and it's just you don't skip a beat. And that's why you like to have those veteran backups that go in there and have the knowledge of the game and great teammates, a great leader for the team. You know, he's always speaking up with things, but very pleased with the way he played, and we'll see what happens during the week.
What are you seeing from Sanders in the 3 games he's been able to play for the Browns?
Okay, now we getting into the Shedeur portion where they're asking him about what they've seen since Shedeur has been in the game.
Since being their quarterback
He played, and we'll see what happens during the week.
What are you seeing from Sanders in the 3 games he's been able to play for the Browns since being their quarterback?
Well, a very talented player, and it's like a lot of the other young players. There's going to be the good and the bad, and you know, I think the one thing you've seen him do is when he gets outside the pocket, the explosive plays that he can make. So that's a tribute to him, to always knowing where everybody is on the field, and when he gets out of the pocket, making plays. But he's done a nice job. And I think only, you know, each week as a young player, you get better the more experience you get.
It's crazy. It seems like this coach has had more positive things to say about Shedeur Sanders and just this one little situation here than what Kevin Stefanski said all offseason about Shedeur Sanders, including during the regular season. You know, it's just so wild how that has worked, man. I don't get these dudes, man.
From the coach's perspective, how does the wind and the weather and the elements affect what you guys can do game planning wise? And from the former quarterback's perspective, how difficult is it to play 20-mile-an-hour wind, 30-degree weather, all that stuff?
Well, I'll tell you, I was in Saskatchewan in 1999 in the CFL, the first game I was going to start, and we had a little walk through the day before the game. I went to go throw a ball up in the air, and I tossed it up in the air. Whew. I told the offense coordinator, I said, you better be careful throwing it that direction. No, but in all seriousness, it's something you have to always take into consideration of, you know, whether it's a field position game, whatever that is, you know, what direction are you heading? You know, what are you trying to do? offensively, when do you throw on the ball more? When are you running it more? Depending on where the wind is, how it goes. How is the flow of the game going? So there's a number of things that definitely, factor into decision making. When are you going for it? When are you not? It's a field position game at times.
What do you feel about your trick play success rate?
It can be better. I think there's some plays that you've run during the season that you look at and you say there's one reason or another why they don't work. Understanding what you can do if those plays aren't there, like throwing the ball away instead of taking a sack, things like that. But the success rate definitely can be, obviously the flea flicker, giving up a sack, so they definitely can be better.
Cam and Shedeur were always linked kind of together through the draft process. Is that something, do you talk to Cam about that, about the competitive nature, not making the matchup maybe bigger than it is?
Cam just needs to go out and be himself and go play. That's the big thing. You can't worry about who you're playing against, and I think that you've got to go out there and just be yourself. That's the most important thing for Cam.
Cam Ward got to actually show that he's a legitimate quarterback at this point. I mean, the Tennessee Titans are back in the number 1 draft pick spot again. Now, I don't believe that they would look to take a quarterback like a Fernando Mendoza, who I don't think is going to be good, or a Ty Sims or whatever from Alabama. I don't think Tennessee will be looking at a quarterback in the draft, but he's got to show something. I think he's shown flashes with the arm talent, with the movement, but he has not been able to consistently put anything together. And they got to get more talent around him, a better O-line, better receivers. But he got to show something. I just don't know if Myles Garrett is the one to try to show it against.
Anything else?
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, so you see that is what Tennessee Titans interim head coach Mike McCoy had to say about Shedeur Sanders. He sees the talent, and it always kind of blows my mind that people from other organizations have nothing but good things to say about Shedeur. But meanwhile, you couldn't get Kevin Stefanski to say anything about this positive about this guy for a long time. They had him on a side field throwing the ball to janitors and parking lot attendants next to trash cans, and he wasn't able to get a real opportunity. And they basically lied to us, and we know they lied to us and said it was a legitimate quarterback competition when it was never that, and we know that. And it showed, only for them to get rid of Kenny Pickett, get rid of Joe Flacco, and then only be rolling with the 2 rookies anyway. But we are here now. I cannot wait for this game. Get down in the comments. Let me know what you think about what Tennessee Titans head coach had to say about Shedeur Sanders. This is Keep the Vision. Make sure you like.